We back in the Uber talks. Last time we was in here, we had a great conversation with the ladies. Now we gotta have a conversation with the men. Fellas, we gotta do better. So before I start talking to the fellas, I'm gonna start off with the age bracket. I gotta separate ages here. So if you're under 26, I ain't really talking to you. Unless you under 26 and you on grown man time. If you're on grown man time, then I'm talking to you. You could come to the conversation, you could pull up. If not, I'm not really talking to you. 26 and up, we gotta do better. Us as men over 26, our priorities is messed up. We are not prioritizing correctly. I know we gonna do what we do. Men gonna play the games they play. We're not here to say all men the same and they should act a certain way, but honestly, we're not doing good with prioritizing our families, our women, and our kids. There's no debate in that. Our families, our women, and our kids. We're just not doing a good job prioritizing that. What do I mean by that? Let's say your priority is to make $1 million. And I'm talking about that's in front of God, family, and kids. I'm talking about your priority. You don't care about nothing else. You're trying to make a meal so you can get to that next meal. But your first goal, first step, you're trying to make $1 million. Now you're trying to be a millionaire, right? If that's your priority, then the things that you do, you are going to be able to balance it based on that priority set. You've already set your priorities. So when you get into a relationship now and it's not productive, you're not going to go based on relationships. You're going to go based on your priorities. Where is this priority for me? Is relationships more important than my bag? And when you realize it's not, you're going to say, you know what, I ain't got time for this relationship. Vice versa. Flip the script. When your priority is God, after God is your family, when you make decisions based on those things. And when you run into tough times and run into tough decisions, go back to your priorities. Keep your priorities. Make firm, good priorities. Really sit down and figure out what your priorities are. Maybe your priorities is not God. Maybe it's not money. Maybe your priority is, I got one child and I want to be the best father I can be. Be the best father you can be. If you meet another woman and that woman prevents you from being the best father you can be, she is stopping you from fulfilling and reaching your priorities and aligning your priorities correctly. You are now not prioritizing. You have put this relationship in front of your child. You know what happens is people don't have no structure. They don't set their own structure. So as the waves come, it pushes them left, it pushes them right. So they'll care about one thing for 2 years, and then they'll care more about another thing, and then they'll get into a relationship, and that would distract them from all the things that they loved and cared about before. And then that relationship won't work, and they won't get back to the things they used to love. They're now going based on what's happening in their life right there in that moment. Their happiness is coming from based on what's happening right there in that moment. And that's because they don't have their priorities together, or they're not following them. Because regardless of the relationship, regardless of the ups and downs, you would stay focused on the priority because it's the only thing you wake up for every day. It hasn't changed. Your priority didn't change. So you're still accomplishing your goal. Regardless of who comes in, comes out of your life, the ups or the downs, you're still accomplishing your goal because you keep your eyes focused on your priorities. Guys, the stuff I'm talking about changed my life. So when I say talk to me, I mean talk to me. And guys, let me just make it clear. It's not just as easy as it sounds. There's a lot to it because you got to have the right priorities. Not everybody's priorities is going to be the same, but you have to have the right priorities. Because you can have priorities that is destructive. You can have destructive priorities. So we're not talking about any type of priorities. We are talking about the right priorities, aligned the correct way for you, and follow through on your priorities. So there's 3 levels, right? Align the right way and follow through. Take a pen and paper if you need to write this down. But I'm telling you, this conversation, this Uber, just might save your life.